Hello friends, Namaskaram. Myself is Dr. Jinesh Soni. I am an advocate and a corporate lawyer. Today we will discuss the importance of representation. In my multiple videos, I entirely submitted all of you to submit the representation. But your view is that if we will entirely submit the representation, our defense will be on record. The CBI or vigilance might work on it, and entirely prejudice might be caused to us. I think that you are correct in your view. And if I will try my best to cause any disagreement with that view in that scenario, you would not be able to understand my mythology about the representation. So it is better to have a discuss on the importance of giving the representation. For this, I request all of you to remove from your mind the theory not to give the representation, so that I could replace the present defective theory with a new theory that is called the importance of representation, and it must be given to prevent any prejudice to our rights. Are you ready? If you are ready, then have a notebook with you, and whatever I am going to narrate you, please be noted. Right now, without causing any disagreement with the previous view or existing view, I'm going to submit certain facts, certain evidences that will entirely help you to understand the importance of representation. The key point is that in India we are having the Constitution of India. Article 21 is quite important. That says right to life and right to liberty are not mere rights. They are fundamental rights. They cannot be taken away, and the process must be a due process. And we are having ample judgments of Honorable Supreme Court in which it is observed that the accused is entitled to have the fair proceeding. If inter alia proceedings are not fair, serious prejudice is caused to the accused, then proceedings could be set aside and quashed. So the basis is that the proceeding must be fair and must be transparent. Now we are coming on section 511 of BNSS. Please be noted. It says that if there is any error or omission or irregularity in any proceeding under BNSS, even though there might be an error or irregularity in any sanction for the prosecution, and accordingly it may occasion in failure of justice, the court shall have regard to that fact. Please be noted. For this, the court will also observe whether the objection could and should have been raised at an earlier stage in the proceeding or not. So basically, if you are going to say the proceedings are unfair or the prosecution sanction given in our case is defective or illegal or not as per the norms, it is mechanical or cyclostyle due to which serious prejudice is caused to us. In that scenario, to determine whether any perjury is caused to you or not, to determine the failure of justice, the court shall have regard to the fact that objection could or should have been raised at the earlier stage or not. For example, you are having a case under Prevention of Corruption Act and you have not raised your submission before the sanction authority, and sanction is accorded in the routine manner. The law says said error or omission or irregularity would not vitiate the prosecution sanction. In that scenario, what you can do? You can do nothing, because you had followed in that scenario the orthodox pattern: keep silence and not to make any objection. And that's why your ground to challenge the said scenario would be baseless. If you want to make it effective and more operational in that scenario, the objections are required to be raised. In case objections are raised and the said objections are not considered, in that scenario, you may submit a case of prejudice and failure of justice, and definitely we could have the remedy as per the protocol of section 511 subclause 2 of BNSS. Apart from that, I am going to submit section 510 subclause 2 of BNSS that says, if the Court of Appeal, confirmation or revision is of opinion that a failure of justice has been occasioned, in that scenario, there is no valid charge, and apart from that, the charge on record could not be preferred against the accused in respect of facts proved. It shall quash the conviction. So, for example, you submitted in a case under Prevention of Corruption Act that you are a private person. You are not a public servant, but despite of that, you are prosecuted as per section 7 subclause A of PCA. And apart from that, you submitted all your objections to the concerned IO, but despite of that, it was not considered. So simply we could say that it is a case of failure of justice because the charge on the record could not be preferred against the accused in the valid manner. And apart from that, even though facts are proved, but the key point is that the charge could not be preferred. In that scenario, the court is bound to quash the conviction. And that's why I request all of you to submit the representation. Your representation must be based on the legal points, and apart from that, it must be based on the points of immunities, so that you could easily suggest inference to the facts on record inter alia collected by the prosecution, so that we could say that the concerned investigation is not going to be happened in the right direction. For example, or instance, you are going to fight a case under Prevention of Corruption Act, you may raise the point that there is no demand, or AI tool is used, or your voice is mismatched, or your voice is probable, sanction is defective, cyclostrand, or inter alia. It is without considering all the material on record. And apart from that, you may submit that the alleged protocol is not applicable to you. You may submit that there is no pendency work. So my submission is that you should not be afraid to make your objection or submissions. If you are not going to submit the same in the right way, you are going to play with your own rights. And inter alia, if you submit it and it is not considered by the concerned IO or sanction authority, in that scenario, subsequently we may take a plea that there is a failure of justice because whatever we have submitted is not considered by the concerned authority. And apart from that, we are having ample authorities. One of the most important authority is a Bombay High Court. Judgment title is Anand versus State of Maharashtra. Even in that case, it is submitted that if the consent proceeding resulted in prejudice to the accused right or failure of justice, in that scenario, accused may have the benefit. So I think that I am totally able to cause all of you to understand the basis and importance of representation. And apart from that, I inter alia removed your confusion or the wrong concept that giving representation might affect you. So I request all of you to replace your previous concept with the new concept, because the said new view is supported by the evidences. For this, you may rely on section 510 subclause 2 of BNSS, read with section 511 subclause 2 of BNSS. If there is any query from your side, you may leave the query in the comment box so that I could answer them accordingly as per my knowledge. See you in the next video. Till then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.